Hello everyone and welcome to the Proc. I'm your host B, and we're here once again to help you level up your game. With the Siege tournament right around the corner, we'll teach you the ways to be like one of these amazing guilds. And to help you be like these amazing guilds, we have today's guest, Mango. Mango, please introduce yourself.
Hello everyone, my name is Mango. I am a member of Absolute Void, a global Siege guild.
What's it about Siege specifically that, interests you or that you find enjoyable?
So what I find enjoyable about Siege is the team building aspect, where I can play with different team compositions to find out like certain counters that usually people would not think of against meta defenses. Other than that, I also enjoy the teamwork between guild members as we strive towards a common goal. So for example, a very simple one would be like all of us put in effort to just get into the Siege tournament itself. So that feeling of achievement can let us enjoy, be more happy about the game.
What are some general tips and tricks that you could give our viewers to kind of help them gain a little bit of knowledge before they try to jump into like higher level Siege?
So the first one is of course understanding the meta. So what offenses or defenses that are in meta and the ways to counter them. Other than this, the second thing is, of course, with a lot of defenses, we need to have offenses. So in order to have good offenses, usually we will try to prepare about a few counters. So the counters can be dupes, which a lot of people try to do, or even think of different team compositions, which I will enjoy that. So other than that, about team composition wise, there's the need to understand the team synergy. So usually when I build teams, I would think from the synergy perspective. So lastly, the most important one is of course watching replays.
While the meta is always changing, there have been some units that have always typically been very good for Siege. So what do you think are some of the monsters that every player should have built for Siege, regardless of the meta?
Regardless of the meta, so generally for now, every player should have the basic second awakened units. So it includes Vigor, Illusia, Lulu. So these three are the sort of the triple strong water units for Siege.
If you don't mind sharing, what would you say is your favorite offense to use in Siege currently?
So one of them is the Olivia Bulldozer and Wusa. So a replacement for Wusa is usually can be Lulu over here because of the immunity and maybe some extra heals and cleanse. So this offense typically works well because of Olivia's permanent immune defense buff, right? Coupled with Wusa's shield and immunity buffs. So these two supports sort of protects Bulldozer from almost all the damages that the defense can output. So with all this, and since Bulldozer is the defense based nuclear, so he can sort of snipe off one unit one by one, while Olivia and Wusa also keep on providing support to him.
So now, for the next section, I wanted to review some Siege replays with you versus, some common defenses our viewers at home may run into, whether they're in G3 Siege or not. These are some defenses that have become kind of common in Siege over the last, few seasons. So I guess a defense that we've kind of seen in the past and has also now kind of started coming back again due to the recent buff to Orion is Seara, Orion, Perna.
So the first one will be Seara, Illusia, and Triana against Seara, Orion, and Perna. Okay, so over here, what we can see is that Orion, during turn 1, uses his skill 2 instead of skill 3. But what we notice here is that Triana doesn't have immunity. So this opens up for Triana to get defense break. However, if we look at the attack bar, right, both our Seara and Triana is faster than opponent's Seara. So over here, the first misplay is to cleanse Triana. Since what we know just now is that Triana is faster than opponent's Seara. So over here, after we use Illusia's 2-2 on Triana, we also buff immunity so as to protect Illusia from Seara's bomb. However, this decision means that we have already burned our 2 heals during turn 1. So over here, we do not want to bomb Orion because he's on the 2-turn sleep. So right now, we are trying to target opponent Seara. So Perna do his usual thing. However, this is the second misplay. So over here, the priority target should be Seara instead of Perna, because Seara is the one outputting a huge chunk of damage to Illusia. So once Illusia, if we lost Illusia over here, the game is basically over, because we do not have any backup CC to control the Orion or Perna, or even a backup cleanse and heal. So this is a mistake. So the other reason why we should bomb Seara over here is that because Seara will get a natural additional turn, so she will actually set off the bomb herself. So over here, suddenly we are switching target back to Seara. So this is an example of not a good decision making. So right now we see that Orion procs out of the sleep and also land all these debuffs. So bear in mind that we have lost all our heals and flank just now. So at this position, we are actually in a losing position. So with everyone defense broken, and Triana doesn't have cleanse available, so the skill 2 is still on cooldown right now. So what if opponent Seara right now uses skill 1 on our Seara? So this means that we have instantly lose this game because of our previous earlier turns decision making. So right now we are trying to salvage the game, and we got lucky there because Seara targeted Illusia instead of 1 HP Seara. So right now we are suddenly targeting back to Seara, and this is sort of the scarier part. So as you notice, Triana has already burned the passive by saving Illusia just now. So right now, opponent's Perna is moving next. So this means that our Seara, is very susceptible to a couple of procs from Perna, and we are still losing. So over here we got kind of lucky, like we get a couple of additional turns here and there. So Seara actually manages to land 2 bombs and also double stun the opponent. So over here, this replay shows that from any replay we can sort of analyze what kind of misplays that we have made, although right now we have won the match because it's 3v1, but it doesn't mean that our offense should be so high variance play.
Thanks so much, Mango, for that great offense. But for those of you out there who are looking for maybe a more free-to-play oriented type of offense, here's a great one that a lot of people like to use, which is Skogul, Fran, and Sian. So we just gave you an example of a common 5-star defense in Seara, Orion, Perna. Now here's an example of a very common 4-star defense you might run into, which is Carcano, Vigor, and Triana. Now, there are a couple of counters for this team, and there are a lot of very good free-to-play counters. Mango, why don't you tell us more about this replay and the counter you're using?
So a lot of common counters to this Carcano, Vigor, and Triana is actually Tractor Lulu Windy, but a lot of people keep using Tractor Lulu Windy and forget about the Water Twins and Chloe. So Chloe over here will tank the aggro coming out from Carcano and Vigor, whereas the Water Twins will do their job and snipe off either Carcano or Vigor depending on the situation, as we can see in the replay here. Okay, so for this offense, the Water Twins and Chloe, which is a very common offense that people can build easily. So if you notice over here, Chloe actually moves last. So this will provide 3-turn immunity for both the water twins. So as opposed to when Chloe moves first, Talia will actually end up with the 1 turn immunity left because of her additional turn from her skill 2 attack buff. So the other thing to note is that for this replay, Sabrina actually moves first for more defense break chance. However, for my preference, I would prefer Talia to move first actually, to have a permanent attack buff, especially against an immunity buff unit such as Vigor over here.
For those of you at home who maybe don't have twins or maybe don't have a Chloe, you can always actually use Tractor Lulu Windy like we mentioned earlier. And that's a completely free to play team. You know, Windy was a Hall of Heroes and is typically available in the guild shop as pieces. So, you know, if you're not able to build this team, you can always build Tractor Lulu Windy as a counter as well. We do have the Siege Legend Tournament right around the corner. Monday, February 14th, we're gonna see the Season 7 Siege Legend Tournament start. But thank you so much for your time, and is there anything you wanna say before you go? Any shout outs, people you wanna thank?
I want to shout out to my guild, Absolute Void. Please check us out. We have a bunch of Twitch streamers, we have some RTA streams. You can check it out. Aspire, Braigeki, right, those two are our RTA players. So yeah, so in Siege side, we have Drywater 808, so please check him out as he has provided some very good replays for this video.
Can't ever forget about Drywater 808. Thanks again so much for your time, Mango. And for those of you at home, who do you think will win the Siege Legend Tournament? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, I'm your host B, and this is the Proc. We hope you enjoyed that video. If you'd like to see more Summoners War content, check out videos just like this one. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Until next time.